All right, chapter 3.2, estimate products. You've done a lot of this already as well, just like some of the other things. We're sort of repeating, but it always gets slightly more complicated. So we're trying to find the answer to 32 times 31. And we're going to round each factor. So this is one way, one method is to round each factor. So we're going to round 32 and we're going to round 31. 32 rounds down to 30, and 31 rounds down to 30. Step 2 is mental math, and we know what 3 times 3 is. 3 times 3 is 9. So we have our 9, and then we keep track of our 2 more 10s. There's a 10 and there's a 10, so we add 2 zeros. It's a little bit, again, just so you understand, 3 times 10 is 30, times 3 times 10 is the other 30. And if we just put our 3's together and then multiply by our 10's, then we get it. 3 times 3 is 9, times 10 is 90, times 10 is 900. Okay, so really I'm just looking at the first numbers, and then I'm adding the zeros to the end. Okay, so 900. It's pretty simple. That's an estimate. Here's another way. We're going to use compatible numbers. Okay, so we're going to estimate what 24 times 28. Okay, so this is compatible numbers. These are a little different than just rounding. If I rounded 24, I'd round down to 20. If I rounded 30, I'd round up to, or 28, I'd round up to 30. So compatible numbers is different. Instead of rounding down to 20, we're going to get a slightly better answer by getting closer. We're going to just round to 25. So, and we're going to round 28 up to 30. Okay, so if I round it all the way down to 20, that's farther away. 25 is closer. And we multiply pretty well by 25s, so that's why we chose that. We know that 25 times 3 is, I'm going to let you think about it for a second. What's 3 quarters? It's 75 cents. So 25 times 3 is 75. All right. So then we add our extra 0, and we get 750. And that's a pretty cool way to do it. That's a mental math. So that's called a compatible number. If we rounded, we would have rounded 24 times 28 using rounding. Let me just make sure we're not confused here. 24 rounds down to 20, and 28 rounds up to 30. And 2 times 3 is 6, plus our 2 zeros is 600. And 600 is a fine answer. There's nothing wrong with that. 750 is closer to the right answer. The real answer is somewhere in between. 24 times 28. I was going to do this and show you what 24 times 28 is. Actual answer is 672. So the actual answer is 672. So that's kind of right in between 750 and 600. So one estimate takes us a little high and the other low. And what really matters is that we're finding 2 different ways to estimate. So you're gonna choose the method you want to use. And you might just choose to estimate every single time. Sometimes they might tell you to use a certain method, but otherwise they might just let you, like this one, 41 times 78. This one, you just round. 40 times 80 equals 4 times 8 is 32, and you add your 2 zeros, so 3,200. Ta-da! And there's another one. I'm looking for one. I think this is the easier method. Compatible numbers is not quite as easy, but I don't want you to lose hope. I'd like you to try it. They're using money here. 27 times 56. Now, I would round this one up to be 30, and because I rounded up, I might round this one down to be 50. That's sort of a compatible number because you're picking numbers that are going to work. Since I'm rounding this one up, let's round this one down. Now, it's closer to round this up, but it's not way closer. If this were 59, I would definitely round it up to 60. If I do 3 times 5, that's 15. Add your 2 zeros, just like that. If I had rounded this to 60, I do 3 times 6, which is 18, and my 2 zeros is 1,800 compared to this 1,500. Another way would be to round this to 25, and then round this up to 60. But then you're doing 25 times 6. Well, 25 times 4 is $1, so 25 times 6 is $1.50, so that's 150. With 1 0. So that's 1,500 again. You know, that's the same estimate as I got over here. If we go to our calculator, 27 times 56, I get 1,512. 1,512 is the actual answer. And so both of these are really good. This one's too high. And I got that by rounding this to 30 and this to 60. 30 times 60 is too high, although it's still appropriate and acceptable. It's just, not as good an answer as you would like. All right, so have fun with this lesson.